Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Chicago did it.
Yeah!
Something to eat.
I got some change for you. Go on real quick.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
U.P.K. We out here in Baltimore, you know what I mean? We was having an amazing food and clothing drive out here, feeding the people, clothing the people, understand, getting love for the brothers and sisters out here.
But that was my niggas. A minute, yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General Yahanna. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K. Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please Go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
All right, clap it up, clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. We do not affiliate with any other Israelite group, you know what I'm saying, or Christian organization. And you can see what they're doing, you can see what we're doing, and you'll notice it's something completely different. You know, they're not making up holidays, you know, to celebrate Yahushua on days where it was not in the Bible. Then they celebrating Christmas or Thanksgiving or, you know, as the topic says, New Year's. You know what I'm saying? We don't affiliate with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, that the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true ethnic Jews of the Bible, and that the white man, the colonizer, the slave master is the devil that the same Bible speaks of. You know what I mean? I am priest and officer, 500 Shapat Dayak. I got Truba Mataya rocking and rolling with me. You know what I'm saying? We about to get right into it. You know what I'm saying? The topic of today's class is New Year's. New Year's, saying New Year's, and it isn't. It's the same as believing in Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like you lying to your kids talking about Santa Claus. At least when they find out that there's no Santa Claus, they stop believing in Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Even though we grew up to tell our kids the same lie, but we don't believe in it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that's any better at all, but the same with New Year's. Following right after, it's not New Year's. But what I come to find is so many of us walking around right now talking about Happy New Year's, Happy New Year's. You know, we passed what's today's date? Today's day, what we did, and we on the seventh day after what they claim was New Year's Day. Everybody's still talking about Happy New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Lord of the Bible doesn't like it. It's a false holiday. It's the New Year's falls in the spring. You know, so it looks foolish for us to be walking around here talking about Happy New Year's, and it's not even happy. It's not even New Year's, and it's not a happy spirit at all. You got people going through shopping areas, mowing people down with cars, blowing up cyber trucks. You know what I mean? It's in so much crime during this time. It's ridiculous. If you look it up, this is the time in January. It's probably the most January is probably the month where you have the most suicides. You know what I'm saying? Depression. This is a month of depression. You know what I mean? Well, we about to get into the day. We really shouldn't do it and get into a little bit of history of it. You know, so let you know that your spirit is in the wrong place. It's not even New Year's. You know what I mean? Mataya, if I could, can I get the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 3? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting fed up with it. Every day I hear at least 100 Happy New Year's. I got to tell them off the break. I just tell them, look, it's not New Year's. They look at me crazy. You know, if I got a moment, I go ahead and break it down. You know, some white man named Julius Caesar decided it was going to be New Year's, you know, to honor his pagan god. You know what I mean? I end up breaking down the whole April Fool's story with it. So we're going to get into all of that as soon as enough. You got that, Matthew?
Come.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
The Lord said, you should have no other God before me. You know what I mean? And what is a God? God is something that you worship, you serve. You know what I'm saying? You lighten up a J in the morning, you lighten up a J at nighttime, you lighten up a J just to eat, you lighten up a J just to sleep. You would say that that's your God. You know what I'm saying? You have to refer to it before you do anything. You know what I mean? You're celebrating these holidays. These holidays are to pagan gods. And the Lord said that there'll be, you can read that again?
Come. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
There should be no other God before the Lord. You know what I mean? And you could tell, you can very much tell what God you serve by the things you do. You can see the comments, Martha, y'all?
Sir.
All right.
I can bring them up.
In the comments, we got Temp Abdul Azim. Well, you talking about Islam is the only true way. Well, very much. If you was to type in your Google machine, Israel is the favorite, then you would see so many verses in the Quran that say we are God's favorite, not an Arab man. The Arab man comes from Ishmael. God sent him away. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this now. Give me the book of Genesis. The book of Genesis, I believe it's 17. Don't go nowhere, Abdul. 17 and like 20. Okay, yeah, book of Genesis chapter 17 and 20. If you could read that right quick. It's for Abdul.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 20. And as for Ishmael,
and as this is Abraham speaking and treating of the Lord, because the Lord was telling him that, Isaac, he had an illegitimate son. I ain't gonna say illegitimate son. He had a son from his wife's handmaid Hagar. She couldn't bear children. So the angel came to Abraham and told him, you're going to have a child in a year, and his name's going to be Isaac. You see what I'm saying? And that right there was from the Lord. That was spiritual from the Lord. Whereas Sarai, her name was Sarai, gave Abraham her handmaiden named Hagar. And Hagar bade Abraham his name's Abram at the time, a son. And his name was Ishmael. But see, this was carnal. This wasn't of the Lord. The Lord didn't tell him to do that. That was something, him trying to do something of the flesh that he wanted to do. That's carnal. Where the Lord told him, you're going to have a son. I'm going to make sure you have a son. Even though your wife can't bear children, you're going to have a son by her. That's spiritual. You see what I'm saying? And this is Abraham asking about his son Ishmael, because the Lord let him know, like, Ishmael ain't it. If you could, go ahead.
Come. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget.
Right. So the Lord is saying, yeah, because Abraham, that's the Lord right-hand man. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do to get the covenant from the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And the Lord, he asked him about Ishmael. And the Lord is telling him, oh, well, he's going to be blessed, because the blessing is not the covenant. And, saying you can get a blessing. That's not the covenant. A heathen can be blessed by the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But he said he's going to have 12 princes, and basically you're going to have 12 sons, and they will be very fruitful. If you look at them herbs today, it's so many herbs out there. You know what I mean? And then, he's going to be a great nation. They leave in Bentleys and Bentleys and Mercedes Benzes in the desert out there. They get money. Dubai. Everybody want to get their tickets ready to go to Dubai to be as lustful as they possibly can. You know what I mean? They got it over there. They got snow hills in the middle of the desert. Now, the Lord is saying he's going to be blessed, but go ahead.
Come. And I will make him a great nation. But my covenant.
What was that word that you say after nation? But. Anytime that you see the word but, that means something else is coming. That has nothing else to do with this. He's going to be great. Yeah, he's going to be all right. He's going to be blessed. But, go ahead.
My covenant will I establish with Isaac.
His covenant, the covenant of the Lord that Abraham got from the Lord, is to be with Isaac. You see what I'm saying? Ishmael, anybody, you can ask any Arab man on the planet. Their claim to fame is why they think they're God's people, is because Ishmael was Abraham's son, and Arab people come from Ishmael. Abdul, if Abdul is Arab, he know it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come from Ishmael. You know, y'all get the blessing. Yeah, 12 princes, great nation, multiply fruitfully. You know what I'm saying? But the covenant goes to Isaac. Who is Isaac? The father of Jacob. Jacob, who is Jacob? Jacob is the father of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, God's chosen people. The covenant went to Isaac, and Isaac gave it to Jacob. The covenant of God does not belong to any Muslims. You see what I'm saying? And that whole word, the word Allah, comes from the Hebrew word Allahayim. Just like the word wa, W-A, means and in Arabic. Yeah, it means and in Hebrew, because it came from Muhammad wanted to be one of us. Barak. The word Barak in Arabic means blessing. It also means that in Hebrew because it came from the Hebrew language, which is older than the Arab language. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, don't listen to these Muslims. They're going to have you second-class citizens serving them, walking around here in a dress. You know what I'm saying? That gear is not fly. What we wear is fly. We find our culture and we put it together. We look fly. You know what I'm saying? You walk around here in a dress and some slippers trying to look like an Arab man. That is not fly. There's no salt in that. And God said we are the salt of the earth. They want to be like you. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be like them. You know what I mean? But like I was saying before, if you go in their own book, the Quran, and you could just type in, God favors Israel in your Google machine, and it's going to show you so many verses in the Quran where God said, I favor Israel. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to explain like, oh, but they were disobedient. Yeah, we were disobedient. That's why we getting punished. Y'all not getting punished. Y'all eating off us. You see what I'm saying? Our Father loves us. He punishes us. You see what I'm saying? But even so, that's to clear that up right here. I'm trying to read some of these comments. Read a little bit of the comments. Okay. So he out the chat. Thought I'd just cut him real quick. I'll take the smoke. If I could, right back to the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. You read that again.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not.
And the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord is telling you all to break. Don't have no gods before me. All that things you doing, that's a lot of us don't know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? With the dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? You paying homage to the East Indian god Shiva, you know what I'm saying? You're smoking the marijuana. Why? Because our West Indian brothers Akhwatin, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to be like their slave masters, their oppressors, and that's the East Indians in those islands. So they took on the smoking of the herb and smoking of and wearing the dreadlocks, you know, acting like them. You know what I mean? If you go ahead, the next verse.
Come. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto any make unto thee any graven images.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And you can't make an engraven image to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your crosses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You got your pictures of Christ, this, that, and the third. They worship in those types of things. You know what I mean? But you're not supposed to be doing none of that. You know, so a lot of people like to talk about the shield of David. This is two Hebrew letters together. This is one of our forefathers' signature. You see what I'm saying? That's what this is. A triangle in real Hebrew, not the white man's Hebrew, is the letter D. You see what I'm saying? And King David's name in real Hebrew was Da. So you got a D, a W, and a D. Boom. So you take the D, which is triangle, the Y, which looks like a Y, and then another triangle. That's how you spell his name. and he took his name and took his initials, and this is what he would stamp on letters from the king. He was a king, so whenever he's sending out his messages or he putting his stamp on something, this is what he stamped it with, his signature. You see what I'm saying? This is Hebrew. You know what I mean? If I could, you go ahead and finish.
Khan. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5.
Hold on, no, you stop right there. We got a question in the chat. Got a question from Adolphus Lash. Young man Adolphus got a question. He said, "Sir, what is the verse of burning stick to your lips?" But that's a good way to kind of paraphrase it. But I believe it's Proverbs 27:8. I'm gonna it was Proverbs 16:27. I had it backwards, like 27. I said 16:27. If I could read that when you got it.
Come.
Beyond the bar, Hebrew.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
And ungodly, what does it say about this person that's doing that?
An ungodly man diggeth
this person
up.
right here, that's the first thing you need to realize. It says this person here is ungodly. You see what I'm saying? Shalom Officer Barak just came in. Shalom sir. This man right here is ungodly. That's the first thing you need to notice about this precept right here. This is what an ungodly man does. Go ahead.
Khan. An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
He diggeth up evil. Where do all drugs come from? The origin of every drug that's out here, it comes from where?
A plant.
And that comes from out of the
dirt, the earth.
Right. So in other words, you're digging, it's something that's coming out of the earth. It says an ungodly man diggeth up evil. Now is something that grows out of the ground evil? You know what I'm saying? Just because it grows out of the ground? No. You know what I'm saying? Marijuana does have purposes as far as most of it's used for pain. You know what I'm saying? Like the cocoa, you know, I mean, you got to get chocolate from it. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily evil because it grows. You know what I'm saying? But the way that an ungodly man diggeth it up to use it, he uses it for evil. He's not using it for when you use a drug, a medication, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're using it for that type of purpose, you call it a medication. What do you use medicine for?
To cure.
Be cured because you're what?
Sick or ill.
Because you're sick or you're ill. Well, majority of the time when you somebody's asking questions or trying to say something about this verse right here or making an argument for marijuana, it's so they can use it for evil, recreationally, and they're not sick. So if you're using medicine and you're not sick, that's evil. You see what I'm saying? Because you're just using it for your flesh, your lust of the feeling. You see what I'm saying? And not to mention, the Lord also says, you know, you shall not burn incense on, you know, to another god. And that's what that is also. So just like we saw here before when it says, thou shalt have no god but me. You smoking that weed, you're honoring another god. You just using it recreationally like that. You see what I'm saying? Recreational, you could say like ritually like that. You know what I mean? And you find it in Israel, we really don't have rituals. But we in all our time, it's like we always wanted rituals. We wanted a king like the heathens. The heathens got rituals. You go in that church, they doing communion. They got the Palm Sunday and all that. They got plenty of rituals. Forget about the Catholic Church. You see what I'm saying? But if you could finish that verse.
Come. And in his lips there is as a burning fire.
in his lips as a burning fire. You see what I'm saying? Now, when everybody's seen somebody smoke a cigarette or something before, you know, when they put that to their lips, what happens? A burning fire. It lights up, it ignites. You see what I'm saying? Well, this is what an ungodly man does. You see what I'm saying? So if you need to break down for somebody who's asking about it, or you just wanted to show somebody that, you know, that's another thing, you know. Shalom Officer Awawal, you just stepped in, the Mad Gad. Salakia, sir. Okay, no more comments. And I hope that's what you wanted, young man, Adolphus. We're gonna get back to it though. If I could, you give me the book of Judith in Apocrypha, book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 3. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep going into it. We already read that the Lord said you should have no other God unto him. And all this is gonna tie into all this New Year's mumbo jumbo that they talking about Happy New Year's. You ever notice all the pagan holidays, they saying happy this, happy that. They so zealous over making everything pagan that means nothing to the Lord. They say happy Friday, happy Sunday. Right. They find any reason to say happy Monday. Ain't nobody happy on Monday, you know, except me. You know what I'm saying? Monday is my Friday. So, you know, Monday come up, I'll be like, man, let me get this last few out the way. You know, I'm off today. If I could. You got that?
Come.
All right.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 3. And he said unto them, tell me now, ye son of Cana, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army.
Nice. See now the water. See right here, this is I believe it's a Moabite captain or king at the beginning. Salakia. Let me just look at it real quick. Chief captain of he's chief captain. You know what I'm saying? And he was inquiring because they're trying to build up in the area, and they see it's a people there that, you know, that's already inhabiting. And he's like, who are these people? You know, because he wasn't like, why they ain't come pay homage to me? Or you heard of them? They can't pay homage to you. You know, we don't check in with anybody, Israel, because you know, we have a God, and there shall be no other God but him. You know what I'm saying? But he called all the local captains and everybody together from these different armies, and he's asking, who are these people? Now, if you could get me verse 8.
Come. Verse 8. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshiped.
Just like Abraham. Abraham, he left the way of his ancestors. And what happened? Abraham became favored of the Lord. Let you know, just because you grew up celebrating Christmas, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can leave the ways of your family, your immediate family, your forefathers and mothers. You know what I mean? Just because they were ignorant to their ways and doings. When you find out the truth, you should be ecstatic about changing, and you changing will show them. So they'll start looking into what you're doing. Like, hold on, what is this he's doing? And then they're going to watch for a minute, and they're going to try to see wrong in it. But when when they're proving that there's no wrong in it, they're going to start, Lord allow, they start trying to learn more and get into it just as well. But you have to be the example and turn away from your forefathers and foremothers and the things that they were doing. These holidays we celebrate come from our slave man, so we were forced to do it. But nowadays it's like we're ecstatic just to do it. You know, happy Monday. You know, if I could go ahead.
Come. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshiped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew, So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia, Salakia, and sojourned there many days.
Right. So letting you know that, who we serve. Obviously somebody did some research on us to be able to tell them that. You know what I mean? So let them know we stopped doing all the heathen things and we worship our God of the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So that was when he was asking, they letting them know who our power is, who we serve. You got that. Give me verse 17.
Verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them.
And see, God was with them. You see what I'm saying? Because they weren't sinning. You know what I mean? When we don't sin, the Lord will be with us. Right now, they got us doing everything under the sun that the Lord doesn't like. They got us using their so-called legal drugs, which the Lord said you can't get high. Got on the TV. You turn on the TV, they got all types of shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster that they advertise and come on out and dine with us. We got all the sin that you can eat. You see what I'm saying? They got that. Got us unaliving our babies. Got us being unbrotherly. Salaki, being unbrotherly to each other. Committing murder. Unaliving each other. They got us doing every sin possible, and they know by doing this that they're keeping the Lord from being with us. You see what I'm saying? It says right here, while we sin not, we are prosperous.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. But when they depart from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed, and many battles very sore.
Right. So when we stopped doing what the Lord said and we started sinning, the Lord he turns his head on us. Oh, you want to go ahead? Oh, hey, go ahead. The Lord is just like a father. You go to jail, and you go to jail, you in that drink. Your mom just wants you home. She come home, she gonna give you something to eat, all that. She don't care. But your father be like, leave him in there. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord, we messing up with the Lord will turn his head. All right, go ahead. You want to be like a heathen? Go ahead. Go out there with them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? You could call that a punishment, because nothing comes but bad, ill for us. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Kawakan. And were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
We lost everything. Messing around, just trying to be like the heathens. Taking captive everybody. Now we got to serve everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else. I believe we had a question up in there. See what we got. What's it? Amos 9 and 7. See what we got. Get the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 7. Let's see, King A asked the question. See if we can answer his question.
Come.
Got it.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 7. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Saith the Lord. Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphator, and the Syrians from Kir?
Salaki, I'm just reading back a little bit. I believe I forgot the breakdown on this one, but it more than likely, he's trying to say something about the Ethiopians far as them being of Israel. That usually when I hear that, but I'm not going to assume that. King A, actually, you just want to break down. Let me see if I can remember just by reading up. But I'm gonna have to get some counsel on that one right there. I don't exactly remember the breakdown of that, but just know that the Lord does not favor Ethiopians. He said the Ethiopians shall be slain by the sword. In chapters right after this, in Zechariah, you know what I'm saying. So I ain't gonna go to that one right now, but he's definitely not putting the Ethiopians on the same plateau as us. You see what I'm saying? Ethiopians are, I believe, Cush. You see what I'm saying? The Cushites also are confederate against us and not God's chosen people. You see what I'm saying? But I would have to get counsel on that one. I couldn't give you a whole breakdown on that one right now. I just don't remember. I got it somewhere in my notes. But never tell you something that I couldn't. Never try to explain something that I don't know. So if I could go back to the book of Judith, right?
Okay.
And also tomorrow we got scripture breakdown class. It'll also be an excellent time to ask for this breakdown right here. If not, if you just tune in, I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember, and I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to ask myself. So probably all you have to do is just tune in. You got that? So what was your verse? What verse were you on?
Salaki. So we went back to Exodus chapter 20.
Nah, we was on the book of Judith.
Okay, come.
I'm sure.
Verse 19.
You was finished with 18?
Come.
All right, so drop to verse 20.
Come. Verse 20. This is the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Yeah, you see that right there. Hey, the heathens know that if we sin against the Lord, that we'll be ruined. He won't be with us. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that they know that till this day. They know that. The average everyday heathen running around here, they don't know anything. They half illiterate. They barely turn their brain on in the morning. Can't even drive. But those who are in power, they definitely know that they have to keep us sinning against the Lord, or the Lord will be with us. You see what I'm saying? But lo and behold, the Lord's making it so that we come back to Him. The books have been unsealed. You know what I mean? The seals have been opened up, and you got men like myself and I.S.U.P.K, Trooper Mathaya. We out here trying to spread the truth so that the Lord can go ahead and end all of this. With more of us that know, we'll be able to bring us all together and bring us back into the way of serving the Lord like He's supposed to. We're supposed to, you know what I mean? And that way the Lord can be with us and give us our homeland like now. You see, He preparing it right now. He got war all over there. He got war all over the Middle East right now. Why? Because He's clearing that land out for us. You see what I'm saying? That's why ain't no war over here, because we here. If I could, is that the end of that? Go ahead, keep going.
Come. Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them.
See, they already know. Look, it ain't even no. Look, we don't even want no smoke with them if they doing what they supposed to. We gotta get them to sin first. You know what I mean? That's all we have to do. Because guess what? The Lord fights our battles for us. We don't have to do nothing but obey the Lord. And it's like your big brother who run the neighborhood. Like, all you got to do is stay in good. You know, ain't nobody messing with you. Where the Lord is our Father, and the Lord fight our battles for us. All we got to do is fight our own demons and stay sinless. You know what I mean? Do the best we can and not be sinners. Be perfect and not as thy Father in heaven, as Christ told us to do. That was an order. That wasn't no option. He gave you an option to try. He said, no, do that. Be perfect. If I could get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy just to see how easily we just want to do everything the heathens are doing, and we believe everything they say. You know, right now I'm in so many conversations just about King James. Like, you know how many people think King James is a LGBTQ white man? It's all the lies that's been circulated that keep us to sinning. You know what I mean? If I could, go ahead.
Khan. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? When we see a heathen, you shouldn't be paying attention to what he's doing. Make sure he ain't trying to get you or get over on you. But other than that, so what? Whatever he's doing, we should never pay attention to him or try to be like him or like anything they doing. You know, don't be envious of them. Like, the Lord thinks they're spit. You know what I'm saying? We could go into that, but you know, we already know we the chosen favorite. Keep going.
Khan. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't be looking at the stars and the moon and the sun, talking about, my horoscope. I'm a Leo. The stars are aligned. No, that's false. You know, all that Leo and Taurus and all that was made up back in Egyptian times. Since then, the stars have changed. You're no longer what you would have been 1,000 years ago, a Leo. You're not a Leo. You're not a Taurus. You're not a Scorpio. Stop trying to act freaky just because they say Scorpios are freaky. You know what I'm saying? And let alone that's driving you to sin in all types of ways. You know, all of those. You running around trying to follow what a newspaper say, and they give you the most general breakdowns. Oh, you're gonna meet somebody that lights up your life today. Like, that could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be looking for anything that gives you the idea that there's somebody who lights up their life. It's so general that it can be for anybody. They're not really telling you anything of a prophecy. The Bible has prophecies. Not even the Quran has prophecies. You see what I'm saying? But where you at? You said don't be dismayed at the signs of the heaven. Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
See, the heathens, let them go ahead and follow all of that. You know, all these holidays today, majority of them are from like stars and them worshiping the sun. Let them do that. You know what I'm saying? Until it's the time for us to show them how the Lord, you know what I'm saying, God of the Bible wants it, because that's our initial job. We were supposed to be the light unto the heathens. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They're going to do that anyway because they don't have a real God. That's why they follow the stars and the sun, this, that, and the third. We have a real God. What verse you on?
Come. Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
It is going into the Christmas tree. We passed Christmas, but the whole theme of all this is basically these holidays. You know, we get into the New Year's right after that. But they said the custom of the people are vain. That means nothing. They're nothing. They have no effect on you at all. I know you should talk about it, praying about it. You know, these customs will bring you nothing to you. They can do you no harm or bring no well to you. You know, so it said one cutteth a tree out of the forest. Go ahead.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
That's to show you this is an actual Christmas tree in the Bible right here. A lot of people don't know that a Christmas tree was in the Bible. And what book are you reading out of?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse.
Book of Jeremiah, right? Was Christ born? Christ was not born. But here's a Christmas tree. Christ, you know, Mars out mad, and Mars means more. You know what I'm saying? But Christmas tree in the Bible before. Well, let it be known that they were doing this long before Christ, and it wasn't called a Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? That's to a whole nother pagan ritual and things. The tree is to Nimrod, in celebration of Nimrod. Nimrod, his mother, who was also his wife, you know, buried him under an evergreen pine tree. She brought one in because it never looks like it's dead. While the other trees died, and she said Nimrod was the tree, and that's why it never died, because it was a living tree. It was Nimrod. You know, come pay homage, put all your gifts up on it as you always did. Come and pay homage to Nimrod. Come to this tree and put your gifts under the tree. First thing you got to do to put your gift under the tree is bow down. You know, so you bow into the tree. You know, you putting your gift under there. Hey, Matia. So most people, when they put a gift under the tree, right, what would they expect back?
From putting the tree, they expect a gift back or a blessing.
A gift back, you know what I'm saying? So you giving your paying homage to the tree, putting your things up under the tree, expecting Nimrod to give you back. You see what I'm saying? And how would Nimrod know what you want? Why? Because you're talking to the tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, you know, like you sing to the tree now. I don't pretty much do it now, but that's where that song comes from, because you're singing to the tree. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, if you didn't come through and pay homage under the tree, they would come at night. The Babylonian army would come through at night, and in the morning, all the heads of everybody who didn't pay homage and put their gifts up under the tree would be hanging on the tree. That's what you get, where you get the Christmas ornaments from. You know what I mean? But if you didn't know that, now you do. You know, so but this is a Christmas tree right here in the Bible before Christ was born. So why do we still want to celebrate Christmas? You know what I'm saying? Let you know right there, the tree is an altar. It's basically an altar to a pagan god. You know what I mean? So you paying homage at a pagan god's altar. The Lord said, there shall be no God but me. You know, we're angering the Lord with that. You know what I mean? But if I could get the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. You know what I'm saying? And just let it be seen what we're doing to the Lord. Like, if you didn't understand why you shouldn't be doing it, just breaking it down just a little bit. Got any more questions on that thing that I was just breaking down, or something else that has to do with holidays? And let you know why you shouldn't celebrate it. You got that?
Come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who said New Year's was 7 days ago? Who said that? You know what I mean? Because last I checked, it's the dead of winter, and there's nothing. There is nothing growing or coming back to life. It's nothing new in the dead of winter. Everything's dying and dead. You see what I'm saying? Like, who changed that? Of course, you would have to know it was our oppressor. Our oppressor definitely changed it. I believe it was Julius Caesar, the Roman emperor. You know what I mean? He wanted to pay homage to his god Janus. Janus, we're gonna get to that too. Janus, that's why it's called January. So how he changed it was, and why he changed it, early we read that if we err to the Lord, we sin towards the Lord won't be with us. Well, one of the things that we have to do by the Lord is celebrate our high holy days. You see what I'm saying? Our high holy days, they all have a specific time during the year that we're supposed to observe them. Well, if you change the date of the first day, the first month, to the day of the winter, for about 4 months away from when it's supposed to be, well, our calendar is all the way off then. We'll never celebrate what the Lord told us to observe with the ones that are commanded, namely the Passover. Passover is a commandment. We must observe it throughout the generations. You see what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that they getting us to air with. It's in that church. That church comes from our oppressor. The Romans started Catholicism, which, you know, Christianity came from. And by their calendar and what they're doing, they got you celebrating their pagan gods. And we're not on time to even being close to celebrating ours because we don't even have the right days. You see what I'm saying? You really can't see it, but right behind me, here are the high holy days. You see what I'm saying? You got the Sabbath day, of course. You know, the 7 days of Sabbath, the Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread right after the day after, Feast of First Fruits, Memorial of Blowing the Trumpets, the Day of Atonement where you sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, you afflict your own soul for the Lord for 24 hours, a real what's the name? What do you call it? A real fast. You know, I just skipping lunch like the Muslims do. You know what I'm saying? Feast of Tabernacle, Feast of the Dedication, Hanukkah. You know, we celebrate dedicating, we celebrate when we got to build our temple back from when they defiled it. You know what I'm saying? It's called Hanukkah, not Hanukkah, like that devil does. And then we got Purim coming up. That'll be the next holiday, you know what I'm saying, coming up. Where we celebrating the heroic Esther. You read the book of Esther, you find out this sister had the real spirit of a true Israelite sister, and she put herself at risk for her people. You know what I'm saying? To save us. You know, we have our own holidays. You know what I mean? And them changing it knocks us off course. We don't even have a chance to be on the right day. You can read that again.
Come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 25.
Chapter 1, verse 25.
Salaki, sir. Oh, Salaki, 1.
This
is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator,
right,
who is blessed forever.
See, you serving the creature, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to it, because that's their holidays. You know what I mean? Their holidays. You don't want to serve our oppressor. And most of us anyway, we tired of it. We tired of having to get up, go to work all day to make next to nothing. You working 2 jobs just to barely make enough. You don't get to see your kids no more. You know what I mean? And they watching what they got? YouTube. They watching YouTube, all the skits on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to grow up from watching YouTube and all the craziness on there. Like, we tired of it. And the whole time what you're doing is just serving them. You know what I mean? Don't you just pay attention in class, learn the spiritual way just to take yourself out of this place. Not serving they pagan gods and not celebrating their holidays will hurt our oppressors so much. Let alone we stop using these drugs. But just they don't celebrate Christmas. If all Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans stop celebrating Christmas, you know, this country would go broke immediately. All the New Year's celebration, all the liquor stores, you know what I'm saying? Your tobacco stores, all these heathens getting paid off for New Year's. You notice they stay open real late. You know, they get extra late for New Year's, extra late. You know, some of them, the heathens, they stay open almost half the day on Christmas because they don't celebrate it. They got their own pagan gods that they worship. Well, we don't need to worship none of that. You know what I'm saying? They changed the way.
If I may too, you'll be surprised how much money you will save and how much bills you'll be able to pay too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We be going broke during the holiday season just to start over. You waiting for that tax check and be so upset if you owe. or that thing don't come back, or they stalling you out until April. You know what I mean? Like, man, my check ain't come yet. You've been waiting on that thing for 3 months, hurting. Why? Because you went broke during the pagan season. That's a new thing called the pagan season, not the holiday season. Pagan season.
God.
You know what I mean? They started off with Halloween, run straight into New Year's. All of it. They got one for you almost every month. A pagan holiday, almost. If it's not just straight to a pagan god, it's to your oppressor. 4th of July, it's to your oppressor. Thanksgiving, to your oppressor. That's you serving them. You know what I mean? But drop that. Let me get the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25.
Okay.
This basically going to tell you the same thing. You know what I'm saying? How they just changed everything up on us. They make it they try to make it as hard as possible for us to serve the Lord. If it ain't from having the wrong time, it's just putting everything sinful at your fingertips. You know what I'm saying? It's horrendous that you made marijuana legal almost everywhere. You know, now people are, you know, they running around here in DC, forget about it. Everywhere it smells like weed. I'm talking about they twisting up right in front of stores, right in front of your house, your apartment building. It don't even matter. They twisting up everywhere. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right. And talking about our oppressor speaks all types of words against the Most High. You know, when you say somebody can eat pork, that's called corrupt communication. You know, like bring it back to the drugs. You say somebody can legally get high, that's corrupt communication. He's making an enemy. He's making himself an enemy to the Lord. He's speaking against the Lord when he does that. You see what I'm saying? When he says God loves everybody, when he said Christ died for everybody, you know what I mean? Like that's speaking against the Lord. He's an enemy to the Lord, and then he's wearing us out with it. When it says he wearing us out, yeah, we look on the corners. See who the ones laying down on the street, running around here with mental illness. You know what I mean? It's so bad that a lot of people a lot of us that got mental illness, the average police officer, and what you call it, EMT, you know, the fire department, all of them, they know him. They know, they be like, oh, it's him again. It's her again. They don't even take them to jail no more. You know what I mean? They got to do something like this, where they actually get a charge from the citizen. Somebody got to press charges against them because they just like, oh, he just gonna do it again. It's no helping him. You know what I mean? They won't actually help. They just keep leaving them like that. You know what I mean? They wearing us out. We, you know, to the point where we struggling so much, we think we got the only people we can come up from is ourselves. So being scared of him, we don't even look to him to get nothing from him except for begging. We trying to take it from each other. You know what I mean? Because of the situations that we're put in. But he wearing the saints out. What's a saint? A saint is an Israelite that changed their life. You see what I'm saying? But he wearing everybody out, all of Israel. If I could. You got any more on that?
Come. And think to change times and laws.
The times and laws, like I said, he legalized everything sinful. You know, he make it so, they I'm talking about fighting tooth and nail, day and night. They get them abortions back. You see what I'm saying? And making it lawful. They had it lawful for so long, changing the laws. You know, so changing God's law, changing the times on the New Year's, changing everything, so that it's very hard for us to not adhere to our God and for him to be with us. You know what I mean? So meanwhile, we got to serve them. You know, he's our punishment. He's our whipping stick. As long as we keep gravitating towards him, because I'm telling you, is some of us just absolutely love our slave master. You know what I mean? And make it seem like it'll be impossible to change all us back, but it's around the corner. It's around Trump is about to get into office. Last time that Trump was in office, man, we gravitated towards each other just a little bit more. And we lost a lot of confidence in that church. That's why I say Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shad, you know what I'm saying, to the Lord, because man, him letting loose that plague right there. Like, we got to see what the Christian church was really all about. Those who didn't already know, they locked their doors. What happened to the healing hands? I thought they was healing people. They closed all them doors. Oh, nah, we ain't got no healing hands. The hands went cold. You know what I mean?
Prayer warriors left out too.
Yeah, the prayer warriors. Oh, yeah. Prayer warriors, you ain't even spot them. I thought the Warriors came out to play. You ever seen that movie? Warriors come out to play. Yeah, they wasn't out to play that day. I mean, at that time. You know what I mean? I got a comment in there. Curry says, Salaki, sir, if I may, we had this discussion on Let a Hebrew Speak. Somebody was asking, how is hard liquor lawful and not weed, because it has seeds? It has seeds. So Officer Kazak read the precept. Yeah, it's a precept. I can pull it right now. Do you want? Let me know if you want the. Do you want the precept that he pulled? I mean, it's one straight up that says, give strong drink to this man and give wine to this man. Wine and strong drink are lawful. What is not lawful is getting drunk, being a drunkard. You see what I'm saying? So just let me know if you want the scripture, and I'll pull it for you. So about to say, so what was that though? Yeah, but you know, they're making everything hard for us to come back to the Lord. We serving them. You know what I'm saying? Got us going crazy out here, got us laying dead in the street. I mean, unalived in the street. It's that and the third. And it's because of his works. You know what I'm saying? Him defying the Lord, you know what I'm saying, speaking that evil that wears us out. You know what I mean? If I could, you got you on your phone?
Yeah, come. I got my phone in the book.
Can you look up a Wikipedia for me?
Come.
Look up Janus.
Gotcha.
Janus. Gonna go into this actual Janus.
Come. Janus. Janus is the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, doorways, passages, frames, and endings.
You see this Janus right here, and he's a Roman god. You know what I'm saying? He's a god of like before and after, you know, in and out. So naturally he would be the one that they wanted to honor for New Year's, because New Year's is the end of a year and the beginning of another, if it was actually the real New Year. But him changing it, he's trying to honor Janus. And Janus, you know, if you ever see the statue of him, you know, has two faces, one facing one this way, one facing the other way. And he's the story of, you know, before and after, you know, all every way which you came from, the past, the future, you know, every way you can look at that. That's what he's the god of, and the water. So that's Janus's face right there. The water, Mataya. You know what I'm saying? That's a picture of him right there. Let you know that's not real. That's not a real person. That's not a god. You know what I'm saying?
So like it, sir.
If I could.
If I may, in the beginning it says a key word in ancient Roman religion and myth.
Right.
Yes.
You know, so let you know this is not real. Not at all. You know what I mean? So why would we be following that right there? You know, so you got to know the origin. That's what one thing that really grounded me in the school, you know, saying I.S.U.P.K, because we don't just learn the Bible. We learn the origin of things that against the Bible, against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We learn the origin of our culture. We learn the origins of things and real history, where it came from in history and why. And then you get to see how it ties in to not being a part of the Bible and the time that it was in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Right. But you got any more on that?
Come. He is depicted as having two faces. The month of January is named after Janus.
Right. January is called January because of Janus. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come. According to ancient Roman farmers' almanacs, Juno was mistaken as a tutelary deity of the month of January, but Juno is tutelary deity
tutelary.
Yeah, go. Deity of the month of June. So Salaki, sir, it says it was saying Juno is the tutelary deity of the month of June.
Got you. Let's see. We got anything else? Let's see if anything else they wanted to say about it. But just wanted to bring in why you celebrating on January. They're saying Happy New Year's because of this god Janus. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the god of before and after, beginnings and endings, and the devil, Julius Caesar, wanted to pay homage to his pagan god, which is, as you read before, is their religion and myth. You know what I'm saying? It's not a real thing. So you got to know when he did that, the Lord said that, the New Year's is in the spring, it's in April. So, people who were still following God at the time, because that we lived amongst, we was in captivity of the Romans. So living amongst, they always tried to mix in their religion with our Bible, so it was easier for everybody to live together. You know what I mean? And with that, everybody who was still trying to worship was Salaki. Everybody who wanted to still say that the New Year's was in April, they called them fools. That's where you get April Fools from. You know what I mean? Shalom, Lisa John. Should I say Shalom, Yahweh Shema Letan Ba Shimi Abashah. We're going to go ahead and drop that. I ain't want to stay too long on Janus. Just want to let you know what pagan god you're celebrating while you're celebrating New Year's. So still running around 7 days later talking about Happy New Year's. You know what I mean? If I could get the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. See how much time we got. We into the hour. Try to speed it up a little bit so we get most of these in. Most of these precepts. You know what I'm saying? You read earlier, the Lord said, don't follow nobody but me. You know what I'm saying? And the heathens do know that if we sin against the Lord, he ain't going to be with us. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord told us, don't try to be like these heathens, because they changing the time. They changing his laws. They're making it hard for us to be perfect like Christ said. You know what I mean? And the whole time they got us following their ways. Like, look at them. Like, they're nothing to follow. Only reason we even look at them in anything is because they got more money than us. You know what I mean? Their life seem a little bit more easier. Why? Because they living deliciously off of us. All we got to do is stop giving them what they want, and it'll turn around. You know what I'm saying? It'll revolve. Just us stopping their celebrating their holidays. That in itself is a revolution, a revolving of the powers right there. This country will fall overnight. You got that?
Come. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Oh, what the Lord say?
I hate.
The Lord hates. The Lord definitely hates. You go in that church, like I said, that's the way they get us to err in that church. You know, they tell us that the law is done away with. Well, it's tell them to ask them what's the difference between a law and a commandment, because they're definitely not saying that. They're making it like they're saying don't do the commandments. You don't have to do the commandments, but the law is a punishment. Yeah, we're not under the law. You know, Levitical priest not gonna come unalive you today for committing adultery. You see what I'm saying? But that don't mean you're not going to receive judgment from the Lord. And anything you do to make yourself an enemy of the Lord may decide to pass judgment in any way, and you never know how it's coming. You know what I'm saying? What you should know is that the Lord is the one who all bad things come from. If something bad happened to you, that was the Lord. You should wonder, what did I do? You know what I mean? And to know what's bad through the Lord, you should come into the school, get in the class, and be taught by the priest of the Lord what are the wrong things to do. That makes it so much easier to be righteous in God's righteousness, not yours. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people telling me they think that, you know, this is righteous, that's righteous. By whose standard? You know, and they'll say by my standard. Oh, okay. Well, you can molest children. Is that right? You know, is that righteous right there? Can you do that? And they'll be like, no. Well, why? You know what I mean? Because all of the child molestation going on in the entire world, it seems to be a lot of people who think that's righteous. So on what standard are you saying that it's not right? Well, you can't, unless you're doing it on the Lord's righteousness, his standard of righteousness, then you know that you could turn up with anything, and a person can justify murdering a person because they thought it was right. Every day somebody does it. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the Lord's righteousness, right? You know, when I find people always talking about what they think is right and wrong, you know, you kind of find out you're serving yourself. You know what I mean? The Lord hates your feast days. Go ahead.
Khan. So we do have a question in the chat too.
What you got?
From Lisa John says, pre-Shabbat, we celebrate Hanukkah. Can we then say Happy New Year?
La Happy New Year has when we that's not a custom. That's not a custom of us. And nowhere will we you know, the Passover is actually the new year according to the Lord. And we don't say Happy Passover. That's not a thing of, that's not our culture. That comes from heathens saying Happy Monday, Happy Friday, Happy everything. They just making up Happy Taco Day. You know what I mean? Like they got a happy for every day. They making it up. But you find that it's all heathen worship. You know what I'm saying? Happy everything. But our culture, we don't say Happy New Year's, even on the Passover. You know what I'm saying? We just observe it. You see your brother and your sister, you know, you salute, you shalom them, you know, have a good time and be brotherly and sisterly. That's our culture right there. You know what I mean? Doing what the Lord said. But no, sister, we don't say Happy New Year. Just answer your question. I hope that was good for you. Back to Amos 5:21. You got that?
Khan. I despise your feast days, and I will not
say whose feast days?
Your feast days.
Like I said, the Lord has feast days. They're in the Bible. You know what I mean? The Lord got feast days. These are the Lord's feast days. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, 4th of July, Valentine's Day. You know, those are your feast days he was talking about. Those are feast days of men. You know what I'm saying? And in worship of pagan gods. You know what I mean? Which the Lord says he's, you know, you got to imagine if your father keep telling you something and you keep doing it, he going to get mad. The Lord said what from the top again?
Khan. I despise your feast days.
Yeah, like I said, started to say before, Salaki, I got a little off topic with it, but, you know, in that church, they telling you God don't hate God love everybody, and God is all love. Well, those are lies. It's like they celebrate those same holidays in the church. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Khan. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Yeah, he don't want to be in your solemn assembly. He not gonna smell in your solemn assemblies. You know, he don't like that smell that comes from it. You cooking that pigtail, you know, that pigtail up in there. You know, the Lord does not like the smell of it. Keep going.
Khan. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings.
Let's not skip that part, because
Khan.
they be sitting at the table and they give the longest prayer at that table. Everybody holding hands. Uncle Wilmer, you know what I'm saying, whatever his name is, Uncle George or whatever, hands sweaty as I don't know what. And you gotta sit there and hold Uncle Wilmer and George hand. You on both sides of them, and they hands sweaty. Why? Because they've been drinking. You know what I mean? And this long prayer, and they themselves wish it would be over with. But somebody that goes in that church, or big hat mama and big mama, they saying the longest prayer they ever could. They thinking everybody coming from in town, this, that, and the third. Well, guess what? The Lord don't hear that. The Lord, like you at your feast day. You thinking you inviting the Lord to your feast day? The Lord ain't coming to your feast day. You know what I'm saying? Don't invite me to your feast day. Guess what? Because I'm with the Lord. I'm on the Lord's side. I don't want to be in no feast day that the Lord ain't at. And the Lord ain't in there. You know what I mean? With that long prayer for nothing. That vain custom, of you sitting there praying over some sin. It's a sin on top of sin, right at the dinner table. You know what I mean? And then you probably sitting across from your molester. They forcing you to sit next to your molester on them holidays. Just come, and we not gonna have all that. Our big mama just want everybody to come together. Yeah, but you got to sit right next to them. Torture. That's like mental torture right there. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Khan. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
You don't accept that ham that's sitting on the table, that pig butt that's sitting right in the middle of the table. You can't eat pig. He ain't accepting that anyway. As no sacrifice, he ain't accepting you praying over it. No, he's not going to make it clean because you prayed over it. He's not even there. You know what I'm saying? He don't like your solemn assembly. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? New Year's people come together. These days, they scared to death to go outside. I'm telling you, I heard at least 4,000 gunshots on New Year's night. You know what I mean? Right outside the window. They had some stuff I ain't never heard the sound of. You know what I'm saying? It sound like a factory chain just like at night, dog. The predator is not outside. You don't need that gun. But even so, on the New Year's, people scared to go outside, so they doing more inside gatherings. And when they doing at the gatherings, they talking about may the Lord be with you. They gathering at the church on what you call it, watch something night. I forgot what they call it. Anybody in the chat know what it's called when you go to church on New Year's? It's called watch something night. But even so, they going to church. They thinking the Lord is in there on the holiday that's theirs. You know what I'm saying? That's their feast. Go ahead.
If I may, too. Speaking of watching, it's so heathenistic with the dropping of the New Year's Eve ball.
Right.
So in that Times Square, all those people, they sit there and they wait. They have to sit there all day long. And they can't move because if they do move, they lose their spot.
Right.
So they saying that they come in there with diapers and they just defecate and pee on themselves for the whole time until the ball drops.
Heathen behavior right there. If anything, I put it this way, heathens don't have the best hygiene. You know what I'm saying? They didn't make the quarantine during the COVID for us. we already be like, bro, you standing too close. You know what I mean? Like, even to be family, see, your family could be standing all the way up on you. You know, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Get out my face. You know, they didn't have to make that up for us. Wash your hands on a regular basis. They didn't have to make that up for us. You know what I'm saying? We just don't roll like that. They made that for the heathens. Heathens do things like that. And people who trying to act like the heathens. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a surprise to me at all. Just like in the when they go in the Hajj and they walking around the little rock, you know, they worship a rock in Islam. So they crushing each other. People, like 2,000 people, you know, 1 year, and probably more even every other year, unalive, just getting crushed with people trying to kiss a rock. Nobody wiping it off. Like I said, these heathens are nasty. Nobody wiping that rock off. They coming over here, French kissing it, you know, trying to get their lips on it, rubbing all on it. You know, somebody hands, you know, they nasty. So that right there, that's not far-fetched. I would believe you definitely on that one about that Times Square.
It's like it, sir, too. If I may, I do have a precept of the thing about the churches doing the watch.
Well, yeah, what you got?
It's the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 48 through 49. How it be, the Most High dwelleth not.
Oh, hold on, right. Let me get there with you.
Come, sir.
You said Acts what?
Acts chapter 7, verse 48.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 48. How it be, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest?
You see what I'm saying? They always talking about this is the Lord's house right here. You know, when the Lord ain't in there with the pastor trying to sleep with everybody's wife. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Lord has a temple that he wanted made. You know, they defiled it and they made their own, you know, of their hands. You see what I'm saying? Not by the Lord. You know, we might have a temple one day. You know what I'm saying? It's soon to come. Lord allow we get to see it in this lifetime. But as of now, the temple was defiled and destroyed. So what are these that we going in now? You know what I'm saying? Let's build it their hands. The Lord don't like it. Like you said, he not smelling their solemn assemblies. You know what I'm saying? So New Year's, all these gatherings they having together, they getting belligerently drunk, you know, passing out. This, that, and the third. That's not of the Lord. The Lord don't want none of that. He said he hates and he despises that. You got any more on Book of Amos? What verse we going?
Come. Verse 23. At the end of verse 22. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs.
What they singing on what did they sing on New Year's?
Oh yeah, come.
I don't know the words. I never sung it.
I'm so removed from this world.
I don't know what this song is supposed with. Is peace on earth or something? They always got peace on earth, some type of something. I don't want peace on this earth. Not while they in rulership. I don't like this world. I pray for war. You know what I'm saying? Because war is when the world changes. You know, that's what you need for the world to change. War. You know, it's the only time it ever changes. But yeah, they singing songs during the New Year's. The Lord said, "I'll take that noise away from me." You know what I'm saying? Like think about it anyway. Y'all on some kumbaya, y'all just rocking back and forth. It's all depressing. Like, this is not a party. You know what I'm saying? This is not a party. You ever been in a black party? You know, that's music that we rock with. Everybody in that thing, we in there bouncing. You hear me? That's how you celebrate the new year coming in. You know what I'm saying? The first month coming in of the year. like we do at the Black Party. I'm trying to tell you, if you want to follow somebody, you should just pay attention to us. We be having cash fun. We handle the business. Everybody's safe. The kids are safe. You know what I'm saying? The kids are safe. You know, everybody having a great old time. And like I said before, the work is getting done. You know what I mean? We not angering the Lord. Why? Because we know what to do. So if you're not sure what to do, one of the first things you should do is come in here and watch us. You see what I'm saying? If anything you ever wonder, can we do this? See if we do it. If you see us doing it, it's lawful. You can do it, you know, without angering the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You going at New Year's, they doing everything under the moon that is angering the Lord. The Lord said, take all of that from me. The songs, the food, your gathering. I don't like it. You got any more on that?
Come on. And Slack, if I may, real quick before that, if I could, this is on point. So that song too, with that the peace song or whatever, for New Year's. Well, this is what it says about Janus. Janus presides over the beginning and the end of conflict, hence war and peace.
Yeah, I mean, but he's not real, so he don't say that over nothing. You know what I'm saying? But what do you mean? How would you tie that in?
Well, I'm saying because since that's he's the God, he's the God over that of war going into peace. That's the song that they actually singing towards him for peace because of the new year of the gateway to peace.
I got
that's
you.
What he's concept.
I got you. The water. Yeah, they definitely. I know it is supposed to be like a peace song. Yeah, and everybody got their resolutions and what they're gonna do. That's good. Whole time is nothing but tragedy going on. Imagine you singing that song, you rocking back and forth, and the person next to them got diaper on. He got a diaper on. This baby is reeking. You hear me? Nah, that's not the peace I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm talking about some good old righteous by the Lord. Seeing some Captain the Cod, where everybody rocking, got a little sip on, kids being babysat, they all having a ball back at the hotels and all that. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
We got let me see, what's on verse 24. Let's go to book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 14. The Lord does not like what they talking about in their feast days. You don't like none of them. And as we said before, you shall not worship no other God but the Lord. And that's what you're doing. We've been doing that for the longest. You got that? All right.
Come on.
Go ahead. When you got it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 14. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hated.
Yeah. All them fake Israelites always talking about new moons and this, that, and the third. The Lord hates that. He said, any feast days, the Lord hates that. Just in case you didn't think we was reading something that was real. The Lord did, and the Lord still feels the same way. He hates your feast days. You're telling lies on Christ, talking about he was born on December 25th. That's false. You know what I mean? And majority by now know that Christ was not born on December 25th. It's been in the news. It's been on all types of articles. Average person will let you know, yeah, I know that's not Christ's birthday. Well, why are you still celebrating? You know what I mean? You listening to everything he said when he speak evil against the Lord. When he say, oh, this is a joyous time of the year. This is a spiritual, holy time of the year. He's lying, speaking against the Lord. And the only reason that you even have the ability to get with your family, because most people say, oh, I just gather with family. I do it just to get with the family. The only reason you have a chance to even do that and all of your family have the day off at the same time from the slave master is so you can celebrate his gods. Other than that, you wouldn't all have the same day off where you can make it some big festival. You know what I mean? So that's not an excuse, because you're falling right into the trap of our oppressor that's keeping us erring and or sinning to the Lord. You know what I mean? Don't be so gullible, naive. You know what I mean? If I could, you got any more on that? Give me verse 15.
Come. Verse 15.
Sure.
And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you.
The Lord said he ain't even trying to see that garbage. You over here praying and, oh Lord, hallelujah, in the name of, and the Lord ain't even trying to see it. He don't even want to look at you. He don't like that big hat you got on. You know what I'm saying? He don't like it at all. You in there acting feminine up in the church. You supposed to be masculine. You know what I mean? You in there sashaying up there to the choir, in the choir, swaying back and forth with a dress on. The Lord don't like that. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be dressing like a masculine man, acting masculine. In that church, they far from it. You know what I mean? Where the Lord said he ain't even trying to see it. You got any more on that?
Come. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear them.
Yeah,
Your
he ain't trying
hands
to hear
are
it.
full.
Go ahead.
Your hands are full of blood.
Your hands are full of sin. And blood be that sin. So when he mean by your hands are full of blood. You know what I'm saying? You up there compounding sin on top of sin. Celebrating you ain't supposed to. And you trying to do it in his name. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work with the Lord. He don't even hear your prayer. You know, so what's the precept?
Sir, can you repeat that again?
I said, if the Lord ain't even hearing your prayer, what's the precept?
Oh, I will not hear sinners.
You know, God? Yeah, quick second. But it's a direct precept to that one. Anybody in the chat know the precept to go with that? Oh, Salagi, sir, Officer Abawadi. Yeah, we went over Jeremiah 10 and 2, the Christmas tree. Yeah, we went over that one. Had to break that one down.
John.
Officer Abawadi said John 9 and 31. That wasn't the one I was thinking about, but let's get that one. Let's see what that is. Yeah, the Lord ain't trying to hear your prayer.
Yep.
You in your feast days. Is that 9 and 31?
Come.
Ooh, we. Go ahead.
Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
The Lord don't hear sinners. You got a precept for that one too. He hates sinners. But go ahead.
But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, he will hear him.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that one, sir. Yeah, because he not only told you he not hearing no sinners, but he will hear, somebody who worships God and does what he's supposed to. The water for that one, sir. You know what I'm saying? If I could though, let me get It's Proverbs 28:9. That's what it is. I kept wanting to say 27.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 9. He turneth away his ear from hearing the law.
He who start from top.
Khan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
And what does abomination mean? Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Like your prayer is disgusting if you're not hearing what the Lord said. The Lord said, He hate and take away all of that beast and these high holy days. He hate them. You know what I'm saying? And then He got high holy days, and you're not following them. Some of them are mandatory. You don't hear that? The Lord thinks your prayers are disgusting. Try to look at it like this. Your father give you rules. Not your father, your uncle, your mother, whoever watching you. You know what I'm saying? When you was coming up, giving you rules on what they want you to do. So you conduct yourself. And all year long, you ain't brought no grades in there. Your good grades, you ain't took out no trash, and they gotta tell you every time to take out the trash, wash the dishes. You're not doing what you're supposed to. Can you just turn around and say, I'm trying to get that new PlayStation and the games or the new J's or anything like that? You can't. I just try to bring it to today's time. Like, just think of the Lord as a father. You can't do that with your father. You know what I'm saying? Your father's not, he's going to look at you like, what? You want what? Like, man, you ain't came in here with no type of grades for me to consider anything. The Lord looks at your prayer the same way. You asking for this, asking for that, and the judgment He didn't put on you, you don't even realize it's because you ain't doing nothing, that He told you to do, and you praying to get out of that, but haven't changed your ways. The Lord thinks that prayer is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? If I could, let me get the book of, was that the end of Isaiah 1:15?
Let me go back to it, sir. Come, that was.
Let me get the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Come. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1. Envy thou not the oppressor.
31.
Come. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
And who's your oppressor? Your oppressor is Donald Trump. Your oppressor, like he got 34 felonies. Now he gonna pardon himself for all of them. You already know that. He gonna get himself out of that. He got 34 felonies, and he's the president. Don't envy that. You know what I'm saying? We can't even get a Burger King job, you know what I'm saying, with a felony. You know what I mean? Don't think that's the way, and that's the American way to be a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Everything they do is criminal activity. You know what I mean? And including treating us the way that they do. The Lord finds that criminal, and they will have to answer for it. They will pay for slavery. You see what I'm saying? Somebody got to pay for it because it never was paid for. Read it from the top again.
Come. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
None of his ways. You know what I'm saying? Just because you think it's a free fall on weed and they got all these dispensaries, don't try it. Do you know that you can't? They take away your gun license. I don't believe you can have a gun license if you have a weed license. No, don't fall for that trick. You got. Don't think He's giving you anything. He's taking something from it when you think you're getting a gift. You know what I'm saying? A gift is a bad thing. It can be a very bad thing. You taking Juneteenth. What about us? Just let us out of the jail. You know what I mean? You just legalize weed. How many people locked up for weed right now? It's got felonies for weed.
Way too many.
Exonerate. He needs to exonerate going on. Let these people up out of there. But Juneteenth, we're not free. That's even a mockery. Juneteenth is the celebration of when they finally found out that they were supposed to be free. They didn't even tell them. They had to find out on their own. And then when they did, it's a big celebration about it. Nah, don't accept that gift right there. You know what I mean? They trying to get reparations and all that. I don't want reparations. You can't pay us enough money for all the things that you did to our forefathers and mothers, and you're doing to us right now. If we would take a look and see they're doing the same things right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no reparations. The Lord of the Bible say, God of the Bible say, vengeance is mine. Why? Because only the Lord can give justice for what they've done to all these generations. And no enough money to pay for generations and generations and generations of you unaliving our folks and stealing all the land and stealing everything we have. We come up with something and y'all find a way to swindle us out of it, scare us out of it. Nah, the Lord got that. You know, he got that. So, you know, we ain't worried about your reparations, your gifts, your Juneteenths, none of that. We don't want none of your ways. We shouldn't envy you at all. Y'all got something real bad coming to you. All you heathens, not just the oppressor, but he the main one. Envy him not. You know what I'm saying? And let me get the book of Exodus 12:1.
Come.
Yeah, you find out that the Lord, like I keep saying, the Lord has high holy days. You see what I'm saying? So envy not the oppressor and do his. You know, we find out about, you know, our New Year's. That's what you need to be buckling down for right there. You know, getting that $200 ready, you know, 200 maybe, you know, somewhere around there for the Passover fee, getting that garment together. Matter of fact, not even just, of course, your Passover garment is going to be over the top. But what about all week long? You know, you just ain't going to come in everything, you know, saying everything the same as last year, or you might do, but even so, it's going to be so much salt laying all around the Passover. You know what I mean? Everybody going to be fly, what they call a Hebrew drip. You know, you should be getting ready for that. I know Martha, y'all plotting. You know what I mean? I know, yes. If I could, though, go ahead.
Could you, it was Exodus, what's the number again, sir?
12:1.
12:1. Okay, come.
We're going to read this down a little bit, if you could.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
And this month shall be the beginning of months. So this would be the first day of that month would be New Year's, right? Go ahead.
Right. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house.
And of course, a lamb, because what's the Lord's favorite cattle? A lamb. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next onto his house take it according to the number of the souls.
Right. So he's saying, he's saying, you know, basically y'all gonna slaughter a lamb, you know, to feed off of your household. If your household is too small, get with your neighbor. You know, if they too small, you know, so y'all share the lamb. You know what I'm saying? This right here is what we call the slaughter of the lambs. That's what's being broken down right here. That's why we do that at the Passover. You first get there on Wednesday. That next day, Wednesday. On Wednesday, we usually have the slaughter of the lambs. We'll be out in the field. You can see what it's like to, you know, what our forefathers was doing. Because at all times, you couldn't just go to Burger King. You had to slaughter that lamb, and you had to, you know, skin it and, you know, fry and cook it up. You know what I mean? And you take it back to a time that we might come to again. So it'd be very good for you to come on out to the slaughter of lambs and get that experience. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next onto his house take it according to the number of the souls, every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year.
Yeah,
Ye
the
shall
Lord
take
want
it.
that one that's special to you. Don't get a little any raggedy old lamb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That one that's on his way out the door and all that. Nah. The Lord want that nice little, one that you really need it. That at first when they come out, wow, without blemish. Blemish meaning, no spots, this, that, and the third, no anything wrong with it. Without blemish. Go ahead.
Come on. A male of the first year. Ye shall take it out of the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of it, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the house, wherein they shall eat it.
Right. And so Moses was the Lord was telling Moses, when you started the lamb, take the blood of it and put it over the threshold of your door. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, this is the slaughter of the lambs. You'll find when you come to the Passover, it is a commandment to come to the Passover. No matter what, if you can't get to the Passover, you can't financially do it. You not telling somebody is extremely unbrotherly, because you will end up at the Passover if you say something. You see what I'm saying? It is absolutely a commandment for you to make it to the Passover. I've heard stories of Ottawa not having no money, coming all the way from Canada with their last little bit of money, not having nowhere to stay, no transportation after that. And they made it, had a good time, made it home, and they were not broke when the things were taken care of when they was home. Now, if you have it, the Lord knows. Don't just be trying to give no wolf ticket. I'm telling you, you don't want that judgment. You know what I'm saying? On something as sacred as the Passover. But being brotherly, bring yourself to the Passover. You see what I'm saying? Let somebody know. But right now, just speaking of the Passover, put the blood over your threshold. Go ahead, verse 7. Verse 8.
Come. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Right. So on the Passover, we eat lamb and the bitter herb, you know what I'm saying? And unleavened bread. You know what I'm saying? Well, right afterwards, we have the feast of unleavened bread. You know what I'm saying? So after the Passover, for the next 7 days, you can't eat any bread with leaven in it. Take it up out your house, everything. You see what I'm saying? These are some of the high holy days that the Lord has. You know what I'm saying? You got the Passover, you got the Feast of Unleavened Bread, following up with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's giving you put the blood over top of the threshold, because it's a little backdrop because we're running on time. The Lord sent the death angel. You know what I'm saying? And the death angel ended up unaliving every firstborn in Egypt, from the cattle to the firstborn sons, firstborn daughters. You could have been an adult, you could have been a kid. It didn't matter what you were. If you was the first one born, he was out of there. So it was a great cry. So that's why the Lord was like, make the bread unleavened, because you ain't got time. It's a great cry, Egypt. Everybody realizing that their loved ones and their stuff was unalive. So we was gonna have to get out of there. The Lord actually said, put your garments on, your wool belts, and keep your sword on your belt. I mean, on your boots on, so we can get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But this is a high holy day. This is actually speaking of the first of the year. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna still get to it. Give me the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1.
Come. And there's a question that's in the chat.
What you got?
From Lisa John, preach Shabbat. When we are at home, should we cover our heads before we pray?
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? You would cover your head up when you're prophesying, you're listening to prophecy, when you're praying, anything that has to do with the Lord and the Bible. You want to cover your head. and the show, because the angel looks at how you're obeying your head, not necessarily looking at what you're doing. He is looking at what you're doing, but you want to show your righteousness by honoring your head. You have a head, whether you know it or not. If it's not your husband, if you don't have a husband, saying your head would be your father. If your father's not around, you never knew your father, so that would be like your older brother. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in your life that would give you direction and look out for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have any of that, then come into the school and get with your camp leader. Your camp leader would be your head. You know what I'm saying? And give you direction. You want to honor your head by covering your head. Whereas a man, he uncovers his head, because our head is the Lord. You see what I'm saying? The head of every man is Christ. You know what I'm saying? But our head is coming from heaven. You need to see our head. You see what I'm saying? We don't have time to really pull that. That's 1 Corinthians 11:3. So when you get the chance, ask for a breakdown about covering your head. It's in 1 Corinthians 11. So you read that and you find out, about having a head and why you covering your head. You know what I'm saying? Because the angel is sitting there watching what you do is according to what your head is telling you. You know what I mean? I hope that answers your question. If it didn't, just let me know. I try to expound a little bit more.
Come on, God. So, like, sir, is Numbers? Can you give me that number again?
Numbers 9 and 1.
Okay, come on, God. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1. Oops. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. In the 14th day of this month at even.
Now, once again, it's speaking of the 14th day of that first month. That is actually the Passover. You see what I'm saying? So when the Passover comes into 13 days before the Passover, that's the new year.
Right.
It's not January 1st. It's whatever day that it was appointed as the Passover. And in the school, we have scholars who figure out what day it is. And whatever day in this year, it is April 12th. The Passover is on April 12th. So you count back 13 days. 13 days before that, you find it's in the month of March. The end of March will be the new year, and then 14 days after that, we have the Passover. You know what I'm saying? This is how it's marked in the Bible of what year is the first year. You know what I mean? What month is the first month? What's the first day? You know what I mean? We don't really do the new year. You know what I mean? But we know it's the first day of the year because we celebrate the Passover 14 days afterwards. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come. The second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover as appointed season.
Right. And so that go to all you all these so-called know-it-all Israel is Hebrew individualites, and saying y'all celebrating, y'all, you don't have to keep the Passover because we don't got the temple. Well, they were in the wilderness celebrating the Passover. They didn't have a temple. So, you meet anybody saying that we don't have to celebrate the Passover, or we doing, and we're not supposed to be because the temple's not here. Well, what the Lord told Moses to have the children of Israel celebrate the Passover in the wilderness. We were in the wilderness for 40 years. So that's 40 years of cutting what you're saying. If you're saying that we're not supposed to be celebrating the Passover, and you can do it anywhere because we were traveling at that time. So each year we were a little somewhere different. You know what I mean? You don't have to be in a certain spot, but just know that the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. We are the body of Christ. And if you are not coming to the Passover with us, then you are not coming to the Passover. You have not made it to the pass. So you need the Commander Yahanna gave the command for all camps to come back. You're not supposed to be in separate bodies. Sidebar: I had to cut a fake Israelite the other day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. He the only one in my job that knows, you know, who he is. You know what I'm saying? And I had a conversation before where he was trying to teach that you could rape. And once again, I had to cut him because he actually brought it up this time in front of people. And I had to let him, you know, show what a real priest is supposed to be teaching. And I had to cut him. These fake Israelites be out here trying to teach it, whatever this, that, and the thing doctrine would led them to break away from our school. If you in a Hebrew Israelite camp and it's not the I.S.U.P.K, you know what I'm saying, just know they're a branch off of a branch off of a branch off.
Right.
They're doing something other than what the Bible say. You know what I mean? Yeah, and Officer Abawaya, Khan, sir, he was from GMS. You know what I mean? He tried to pull up, since he said they lay hold on it. But back to what I was saying. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you're at. You celebrate the Passover with the body of Christ. You come to the Passover, I.S.U.P.K, you're ordered to come. It's a commandment. You know what I mean? If I could, what you want, verse 2?
Verse 3, sir.
Okay, all right. Let me get the book of Genesis, chapter 40 and 20. You know, just going on these high holy days. Another disgusting thing I've been, you know, we come across right before we end the class off, these birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know you're not supposed to be celebrating no birthday. The first, we're not gonna get to it, but the first actual record. Matter of fact, this is it here. Go ahead, read this right here.
Come. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday.
It's the first mention of a birthday recorded right here in the Bible. A heathen was celebrating his birthday. Go ahead.
That he made a feast unto all his servants.
Mm-hmm.
And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants.
All right, so I just wanted to bring this out because this is the first documented as far as somebody actually having a birthday, and it was a pharaoh, you know, African, you know what I'm saying, African celebrating his birthday, and that's heathen behavior, you know what I'm saying, and you know him being the pharaoh and us being under their rule, it make you want to celebrate your birthday, you know, thinking you envy, you know, you being like the pharaoh, trying to be high and mighty, as we say, blackety black today, you know, and do what they do, what the oppressor does. And we not the oppressor. It's only one God. You know what I'm saying? Only high holy days. You know, holidays is from the word from high holy day, and holy day is a day unto the Lord. You don't get a holy day. You don't get a holiday. You know what I'm saying? This was the first record. Give me the book of Job, chapter 1. Since I gave you that one, in book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1.
Come. It's the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
He was what?
He was perfect and upright.
The Lord said he was perfect and upright, like Christ commanded us to be, like, you know what I'm saying, like Christ did to the T. The Lord called somebody else perfect. And you know, the Lord's righteousness is what counts. The Lord called him perfect. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead to the end of that verse.
Come. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God. He
feared God. You know what it means to fear God, Martha Yah? What does that mean?
Follow his laws and statutes and commandments.
It means you obey him. That's right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is what Job did. He was perfect at it. You know what I'm saying? So said the Lord. You know, that's the end of that verse.
Come. And eschew evil.
Right. He shook it off. You know what I'm saying? He stayed away from it. Give me verse 4.
Come. Verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, everyone his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them.
So Job's sons are celebrating their day and called their sisters over there to have a little party. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Have a little party or whatever, you know what I'm saying, for their day. They were celebrating their day, their birthday. They made a day for their own self. The Lord hates your day. You know what I'm saying? Now keep on.
Come. Verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned.
He said, but that my what?
It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts.
See what I'm saying? That like a Job, a perfect man who followed the Lord, he knew his sons had sinned. So I mean, he like a good parent does. You gonna try to get your son, get your daughter up out of it. You're gonna do what you have to. He didn't sacrifice out of his pocket, even though Job was a wealthy man, sacrificed out of his pocket to pay for what they did. That's what you're accountable for your children. You know what I'm saying? Tell them like you kind of always trying to look out for your kids, whether they grown or not. You know what I mean? But Job had to try to fix that with the Lord. Long story short, not necessarily saying that was the reason why, but his kids were unalived, all of them. The sisters, the brothers, all of them were unalived. You know what I'm saying? And as the story went on, you know what I mean? Job was not unalived. Job followed what the Lord said. And I'm pretty sure him being a man of the Lord, he taught his children what to do and what not to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If I could, I got 2 more. If you could rock with me real quick. Let me get the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 6. Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 6. Anybody who don't know, that's in the Apocrypha.
Come. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners.
Who does?
For the Most High hateth sinners.
I thought God, he loved the sinner, but he hated the sin.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. He hates sinners.
For the Most High
once again, the Lord hates. He's not all love like they say in that church. The Lord's love is conditional. It's conditional on you doing what he said. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. You can finish that.
Come. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
He will repay vengeance. You will get your judgment unto the ungodly. You know what I'm saying? From you digging up evil, from you unaliving the babies, you know what I'm saying, in that temple, in that whorehouse, you know, say the church, you in there letting LGBTQ run rampant, you sleeping with women's wives, you teaching men to not follow what the Lord say. The Lord will get vengeance on you because he hates sinners. He hateth sinners. You know what I'm saying? Make that for sure. You should not want to be an enemy to the Lord because he will get vengeance on you. Last verse. If I could get the book of Ezekiel. Is that 30? You know what? I ain't right. I think it's 34 though. But Ezekiel 34 and 22. Let me see what I got. I forgot to write the chapter down. Yeah, that's 20. 30. Did I say 34, right?
34, 22, 34 and 28, I think is what you're looking for.
I got 22.
You got 22? Okay, come. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 22.
That wasn't it. That wasn't it. Hold on. quick. Hold on, real quick. Yeah, I don't got that one. I don't know what I supposed to put down there. Dang it. Well, I'm gonna skip that one. Well, since it lets you know you shouldn't be be an enemy to the Lord. You know, saying that we only have one God, and the Lord said you shouldn't have no other gods. Don't be listening to these heathens. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that if they can keep you not listening to God, that the Lord will not be on our sides. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get punished for it. You know what I'm saying? I got one to end off on. Let me get the book of Amos chapter 3 verse 1. But you know, we get punished for it. You see what I'm saying? The Lord got high holy days. This is not the new year. We should not be running around talking about Happy New Year's, Happy New Year's. For somebody who knows, like a lot of us here in this chat, we know. So I can only imagine how you looking at us when we walking around and talking Happy New Year, and they still doing it at full capacity. Everybody they see Happy New Year. It's foolish. It's like little kids running around believing in Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be. You looking at the parent like, why you gonna lie to them like that? Well, you lying to yourself when you keep saying Happy New Year after you done learned it. I go around all the time and explaining it to them and watch a person say Happy New Year right after that. You know what I'm saying? That's foolish. If I could.
Khan. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
We all know the story of how Moses brought us out of Egypt. So it's talking about us, Israel, Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. And he's saying, he's talking to us. He said, this is a warning, warning against you. Basically, this is against you. It's a warning. And he said, you only what?
Have I known of all the families of the earth.
That's heavy. You got to love that right there. Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, got to love that the Lord said he only know us out of everybody in the world. You see what I'm saying? That's why we should never pay attention to them. The Lord ain't paying attention to them. He don't even know them. Why envy this? They don't know the Lord. That's like, oh man, come on, man. You let's say you born into a family or something. Nah, this forget these stars and the thing that they're doing, but everybody that's at the party. You know what I'm saying? It's all celebs, this, that, and the third. And these people right here faking like they do. But they dressed all like they trying to dress like the stars, this, that, and the third. You shouldn't envy them. You know what I'm saying? You were in the party with the stars. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know the Lord. The Lord know us. You know what I'm saying? Like, why should we? They trying their best to be God's chosen people. Why are we the only ones not trying to be God's chosen people? And we are. Right. You know what I mean? Go ahead. You finish that.
Come. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. You punish your kids because you gave them rules. You're not going to punish all the rest of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Should always want to be like us. We are what's fly. We are what the Lord likes. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Lord got high holy days. We shouldn't follow theirs, but you know what I'm saying? And show people that they shouldn't follow theirs. Let's show them the spirit that's on these holidays. There's so much extra crime going on, domestic violence, this, that, and the third. It's not New Year's. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I'm gonna pass the class on to Salaki, Trooper Mataya.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny and any increase of the Lord give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation would be Feast of Purim. And Salaki, sir, do you have the date for that?
You said the Feast of Purim?
Khan.
It'd be the 14th day. The 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Thursday the 13th of March and Friday the 14th of March 2025. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31.
The water. And don't forget, we do have the Lord's 56th Passover right after that. That's going to be the next High Holy Day, which is going to be Atlanta, Georgia. So, sir, you got anything that you want to say about that?
Yeah, make sure you save up almost like $200 for your Passover fee. It was that last year, so if you save up that much, it should be pretty good. So get your hotel fee and your traveler fees together.
Khan, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia, on the 20th.
Salaki, you said what's on the 20th?
It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, on the week of April 20th.
April 12th.
Of Salaki, April 12th.
Yeah.
Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on forth, I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to wear all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, and black headband or scarf. And with that, we go give one salute to the teacher.
You say Amajium?
Amajium.
Yeah, to let you know exactly what you're saying is Imad, like Kazakh Imad Yum.
Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Brakatah,
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Brakatah,
Yajamatah, class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one.
Chicago did it.
Something to eat.
I got some change for you.